Welcome to Be Real with Jody, where we talk about real tools, how to learn how to be your real self, how to know who you are really deep in your bones, all the real things. So I'm glad you're here. Today, I want to tell you a story. And it goes back to a couple summers ago when I went to a camp with a bunch of girls, and they were like the most confident, cool, fun girls. We had a super fun few days full of just laughter and fun. And I mean, to be honest, looking on the outside, these are like the kind of girls you'd think like they don't have any problems. Like their families are perfect and they have such cool clothes and everything seems so good for them, right? And then the very last night, we have what's called a testimony meeting where everybody goes around the circle and they kind of share, some meaningful things to them about God, about themselves. And I watched in disbelief. I watched each girl get up and they said a lot of good things, but one common thread was they told how they didn't feel good enough, how they felt like they didn't have any friends, how they felt like nobody liked them, how they felt like they didn't belong. Most of them talked about how they didn't even want to come because they didn't know if it would be good, if people even liked them. And I watched each of these girls when from the outside looking in, you would never guess. You would never guess that this was going on for them. And as I sat there, instead of getting really sad, it was crazy. I just started getting mad. I was like, just watching all these girls listen to these voices in their head that is not even them and believe that it's true. And so I was one of the last people to stand up. And I stood up, and the first thing I said was, "You guys, I'm really mad right now." And I feel like everyone was really taken back, like, "Oh, geez, like, what is she gonna say?" And I was like, "Here's the thing." And this was just came to me, and it was like, Satan is not original. Like, do you see that he is telling every single one of you the exact same thing? You're not good enough. No one likes you. Nobody wants you here. You're different than them. You don't belong, right? It's like he's not even coming up with original thoughts. Everybody's saying the same thing. And then I guarantee you, if I asked each girl, if I said, "Hey, your friend sitting next to you, is that true about her? That she's not enough? That she doesn't belong? That she's not good enough?" And she'd be like, "No way," right? Or what about the girl next on the other side of you? Is that true about her? Well, no. But then it's like, but is that true about you? And they'd probably be like, well, yeah. Well, that makes zero sense, right? If it's not true for the people sitting next to you, it's definitely not true for you. And so it was crazy because I feel like we kind of make it like this huge thing that like we have these negative thoughts and we can't get away from them. But what I saw was just like, oh, whatever. Listen, if we're on to Satan's tactics, we can almost expect them. And this is one of my favorite analogies, and it goes like this: God is faster than Satan. Sounds funny, right? God is faster than Satan. So most of the time, you're going to have a good thought that comes into your mind. It's probably a whisper. It's probably a little one. Something like, you should text so and so, or you should go sit with these friends, or maybe you should try out for this sport, something like good to do. And then about 3 seconds later, it's gonna be like, no, you shouldn't. Who do you think you are? You're not good enough. They don't even like you. What do you think? If you text them, they're gonna think you're weird, right? And that's just what happens. That's what happens. God comes first, and then Satan's like, "Duh, duh, duh. Here I come with my negative thought." Okay. But here's the thing: we could sit here and be like, "I have negative thoughts. It's so terrible." Or we could be like, "Yeah, of course I do." Satan's real slow. He comes about 3 seconds later, and we could actually expect it. When you have a good thought, instead of being like, "Oh, but I can't because I think this," no, you can be like, "Yeah, for sure. Every time I have a good thought, I can literally almost count in my mind, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there it is. There's that negative thought telling me I'm not good enough, that I don't belong, that no one's gonna like me." And it's like, that's old news, you guys. Old news. It's not even a real thing. Okay. If you listen to me anytime, you were $100 bill. No matter if we crumple it up, no matter if we step on it, no matter what happens, $100 bill does not lose its worth. You can still go buy whatever you want with it. And the same is true for you. Even if you fail your test, even if you did something bad, even if you made a huge mistake, you do not lose your worth. So Satan over here, or these negative thoughts telling you that you're not good enough, that's not even a thing. You are amazing. You are loved. You are worthy. And you can't even take credit for it because you didn't even earn it. God made you that way. So why are we going to listen to Satan or these negative thoughts, or make them the most powerful thing? It's like when we expect it, it loses its power. It's like, there it is. Yeah. Anyways, Like, we don't even have to be like, is it true? Like, go all deep on it. It's like not that deep, right? It's like, here it comes. Okay. Anyways, let me decide what I want to do. Okay. So when we expect the negative to come, it empowers us to choose on purpose what we want to do. This is my challenge for you. If you struggle with this, if you struggle with negative thoughts, we need to change. We need to help your brain change. We need to set up new thought patterns. It's like you have water that's been going to the right for a really long time. We want it to go to the left. We're going to have to dig a ditch. We're going to have to move the dirt to make the water go the other way. So we're going to have to, on purpose, put good thoughts in your mind. Okay. So when those negative thoughts come in your head, like you're not enough, you can almost like literally listen to my voice right now. You are enough. You didn't even earn it. You're amazing because God made you that way. That's it. If you learned that one thing, everything would change for you. Because listen, people who are confident know that their worth does not come from their grades, from how good they are in their sport, from how good they dance, anything that they do. Or if people like them, if they get compliments, if they do good at something, none of that is where they get their worth. They know they are amazing because God made them. The most powerful person in the being in the universe made you. You are his kid. You are fully loved exactly how you are right this very second. So from that confident place in your identity, like, I know who I am, then it's like, okay, but what do I want to do? I don't need to win first place in this dance competition so I can feel good enough. I don't need these people to invite me to this party so I can finally feel like I belong. I would want to do it. I would want to make friends. I would want to win, but not because I have to get it so I can feel good enough. Because here's the truth. If you are looking for outside things to make you feel good enough, it will never work. What happens is the goalposts move. Like in your mind, you have a goal. Like if these people invite me, then I'm good enough. If I win this trophy, then I'm good enough. But what happens is you get it, and then your mind will be like, yeah, except this. It will tell you something else. No, I mean, yeah, but the next one, you're not going to win that one. You're not good enough for that one, right? Because your worth can't come from outside things. So my challenge for you is here's the truth, to build a relationship with God where you feel like what he thinks about you actually matters to you, you have to have a real relationship. You can't just say your prayers and be like, yes, thank you so much, and go about your day. Like I have so much faith and have a pretend relationship with God. Here's the truth. He already knows. He already knows what you're thinking. He already knows you're having a hard time. Why don't you just tell him? He can actually handle it. I was actually just coaching someone today that talked about some really hard thoughts that he was having, like about not feeling like he wanted to be here, right? Like life is too hard. Like I don't even know if I want to be here. And I'm like, yeah, guess what? That's actually a normal thought. And guess who can handle that thought? God. You could tell him that. You can tell him the hard thing. And when you have that relationship where you feel like God can handle it and he loves you no matter what, that power, that grace that God can give you will bleed into every area of your life. And you can be that for other people. So my challenge for you today is to be real with God. Tell him the truth. Tell him you struggle with this. Tell him what's really hard for you. And then build that relationship with him so that whatever he thinks about you is the thing that actually matters. So then if people judge you or if you have negative thoughts that come into your head, you're just like, yeah, that's what happens. Anyways, I'm going to decide on purpose what to think about myself, which is I am loved. I am amazing. God made me that way. Now let's go have some fun. So this week, I want you to work on that. I'm so glad you're here. I love you. I'm proud of you. You're doing amazing. And I'll see you next week.